4 would-be heroes had been sent to the jungles of Chult to destroy the cause of this terrible affliction. Vale, the half-elven paladin who's just now learning of his divinely granted powers. Ubo, the total monk from a distant land who's as quick with his wit as he is with his staff. Brilinya, Aasimar warlock sent on this quest by her temple, discovering herself in this strange new land. And Gunslinger Cole, tiefling artificer and archaeologist who may just dig up more than she bargained for. This motley band of adventurers must work together to brave the poisonous plants, venomous monsters, thundering dinosaurs, and rotting undead of the jungle. Join the omnipotent dungeon master Jake from Mini-Terrain Domain to see if our heroes can find the soulmonger, uncover the deeper mysteries of Chult, and free the world from the death curse. Welcome to the jungle. Welcome to Chult of Personality.
Hey internets, it's Jake from Mini-Terrain Domain, and this is Chult of Personality, a Tomb of Annihilation campaign happening every Sunday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern right here on twitch.tv/Mini-Terrain Domain. And it is important to note that this game will only be happening for anywhere from 1 to 3 more sessions, because we are just about to wrap up a 2-year and 8-month campaign. This is session 70. It is entitled Death God's Nursery. And things are finally culminating that you have been working towards, well, Vale and Brilinya, Mike and M, since the very beginning of this campaign. Not to in any way belittle the efforts and involvements of Connor and Kaeryn as Taliel and Qualu, because we figured out a couple weeks ago that Kaeryn has been playing this campaign with us for over 20 episodes, or around 20 episodes now, and Connor for, I'm not sure how much longer than that, 30 or 40. So it's been quite the adventure. And I say 1 to 3 because we don't know what's going to happen in the next couple sessions. So that'll really kind of determine where this lands. But yeah, it's really exciting. And so we're going to get going with this in just a moment. Let's see, real quick, I want to make sure that, of course, that we mention Jasper's Game Day. Mini-Terrain Domain is a partner with Jasper's Game Day. You can type at any point in the chat, or you can check out down below the stream. There is a banner. But Jasper's Game Day is a wonderful organization dedicated to the education about, awareness of, and elimination of suicide through tabletop gaming. And we are pleased to be partnered with them. Any money you donate through that link goes directly to benefiting crisis centers around the country, teen suicide hotlines, the National Suicide Hotline, and so much more. If you want to give in a different way, you can, of course, check out our partner Initiative Coffee Company. Type in !coffee into the chat, and you can get yourself some Metade roast coffee. That is a medium roast Brazilian and Peruvian coffee that is so good. I love it. And for every 12-ounce bag you buy of that coffee, the $3 of that goes to Jasper's Game Day. I also want to, of course, mention our sponsor. I haven't put his logo up on this channel, but Mini-Terrain Domain is proud to partner with Talon and Claw, makers of quality wooden gaming accessories such as DM screens, dice vaults, and trays. Soon I will be able to show you some of that, as I have something on the way from them very soon, and I'm very much looking forward to it. But if you would like to click on the link and check out and order something from them, dice vaults, trays, DM screens, all handmade, custom made from wood, you can use the code MTDClaw, get 10% off your purchase at checkout. So that's pretty cool. So excited to be partnered with them. Let's see. I want to, of course, finally bring up, since we talked about the suicide awareness, you'll notice there are some phone numbers scrolling along the bottom. At any time during any broadcast of Mini Terrain Domain, or actually even if we are off the air, you can type in !help in our chat, and some wonderful phone numbers will come up that are available to you. It's important for you to know, we say this all the time, but it never loses its importance. No matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, whether or not you believe it, you matter. Your presence on this earth makes a difference. And it can be difficult sometimes. That's why these phone numbers are there, why these resources are there. If you do find yourself struggling, you can reach out to the National Suicide Lifeline at 1-800-273-TALK. That's 1-800-273-8255. Or you can text 741-741. In Canada, you can reach the crisis text line by texting CONNECT for English or PARLEY for French to 686-868. Or you can call the Canada Suicide Prevention Services in French or English at toll-free 1-833-456-4566. Available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And if you are among our friends around the world, you can go to opencounseling.com/suicide-hotlines. And there are a lot of phone numbers and text numbers that are available for countries all around the world. So, with that, I think we are ready to play some Dungeons and Dragons. Well, these adventurers have been spending quite a while making their way through the Tomb of the Nine Gods, facing off against the trickster gods, facing innumerable traps and perils, coming dangerously close to death, the threat of loss of life, and the actual loss of limb, in the case of Vale, who sacrificed his right arm below the elbow in order to allow everybody to get out of a particular area. But you've gotten to this lower level. You have collected all of the skeleton keys. You can, or you have completed all of the trials of the keys to open the locks in the gate. You defeated the Sohn sisters, servants of Acerak. You unlocked the skeleton gate, and you descended down into the Death God's nursery. As the doors opened, you found yourself walking down. Or rather, I'm gonna move into present tense now. You find yourself walking down a 10-foot wide, 20-foot long staircase of polished black marble. As you enter this large, vaguely triangular chamber, you see crumbling balconies that overlook the area, above which is suspended. And then, let me back up. I skipped. Sorry, I'm getting used to my new setup. My monitors are in a slightly different position. That's why it looks like I'm staring off into nowhere. Crumbling balconies are looking out over a huge pool of lava that is filling the triangular chamber, above which is suspended an enormous crystal cylinder held in place by 3 adamantine struts. Wraith-like forms swirl inside the cylinder, and otherworldly screams hang in the air. 4 long, writhing tentacles sprout from the cylinder's cap. A shriveled monstrosity the size of an elephant floats near the cylinder. Its body is wet and malformed. Its arms and legs are atrophied, and its oversized head is literally just dripping this black goo. The creature is attached to the cylinder by a long, twisting umbilical cord. And as a reminder, I believe, I hope this is going to give anything away. Nope. That is what you are seeing. You have just descended the stairs, and you are in front of you immediately is one of the adamantine struts that attaches to the floor. The other two adamantine struts stretch out across to the balconies, and on the far southern balcony, you will see that there is some sort of portal that is glowing with bluish green energy. In this room, quite literally, the floor is lava. All around you, to your left and your right, are a total of 10 alcoves containing the bones of old Omuans and some minotaurs. What would you like to do? A reminder, in this room, not only do you see these forms, you hear this just ghastly and sort of wailing sounds. Every once in a while, you'll see a form press up against the glass of this cylinder, and its mouth will move, and all around the chamber will echo these screaming yells. This creature floats in the air up near this thing, kind of writhing around by it. The tentacles are through the air. You can feel the heat, and you can hear the bubbling sound of the lava down below you. What would you all like to do?
I think despite everything that Brilinya has been through, everything that she has seen, when she sees this, she stops. And just can't seem to bring herself forward.
Brilinya, you hear a voice, a familiar voice in your head. The trickster god Unk that has been a part of you for quite some time now. You should try to communicate with whatever that is. Perhaps the creature has just misunderstood. Vale. You have, I believe it's Obalaka that is possessing you, correct? In your head you hear, "Oh dear, please, be careful of the bones in the alcoves. They might rise up. They might attack us." Taliel, you hear in your head, as Kubazan is I can't think of the word. Stifled, I guess is the word. Muted. You've lost a direct connection with Kubazan since you imbibed of the feast in one of the trials recently. Qualu. I'm not sure what's going on in your head, as you are not inhabited by any trickster god. So your thoughts.
Shagambi.
Oh wait! Oh my gosh! I totally forgot you had Shagambi. That is right. So Shagambi, actually, in your head, Shagambi says, "That creature, it is unholy. You must destroy it at once."
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So Vale, what are you doing as Obalaka has warned you, and you're standing there near these alcoves? You see the bones, you see the adamantine struts, the device that seems to be containing spirits or perhaps souls. The thing that you've been striving for so long. What would you be doing or thinking?
I would just be looking at it and I'll draw my rapier and say, "Oh, here we are. All we have to do is destroy that thing, and then we can go home." Doesn't seem that bad.
A tentacle sort of slithers by, and you just hear that. It doesn't attack you, it just kind of moves through the air nearby. As you say this, a spirit kind of...
Well, there we are.
Taliel?
Having heard nothing but gobbledygook in her head, she is likewise going to have on her shield and pull out her longsword. I guess go to the left a little bit so that we can actually all get into the room.
Well, okay. Yeah. The stairs are 10 feet wide, so there is a bit of room for everybody. You've drawn your sword and you've moved to your left or to the sort of top-down view left?
My left.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. Brilinya, you're standing there horrified. You've just heard onk. Qualu, what are you doing?
Qualu is staring this thing down, wondering where its weak spots might be, where it's how best to bring it ruin, I guess. He's focused, he's determined.
Qualu, give me a... You can give me an insight check, or you can give me a history check. Yeah.
We're going to go with history, because apparently Qualu was a big bookworm. I have +5 history for some reason. It's going to be a total of 15.
Looking at this structure, this thing that has is essentially this glowing blue cylinder with this ring of adamantine around it, and then these big struts that do look like they're big enough that at least one person wide, like you can walk out across them, sort of like a balance beam. And you get the sense that if you could somehow disconnect the struts, you could send this thing careening down into the lava below.
Ooh.
It
So you're
also
saying that Qualu could smash and it'll work. Is that what you're saying?
basically, yeah. I mean, it looks like you could either try smashing the struts or the
Qualu smash.
thing itself. I would like everybody to make a insight check.
22 for me.
21 for me.
12 for me.
A massive 8.
It seems fitting that it's Vale and Brilinya that scored so high, as you're the two that have been on this quest specifically. You have no doubts that this device is, in fact, the soulmonger. The thing that has been causing the death curse in all of the realm. This is the thing that when people die, their souls go into it. Hearing that, you realize that there are people you know that may be inside this thing. As you see these ghostly figures swirling inside it. You don't really know what this thing is, though, that's attached to it by an umbilical cord. This is an abomination. This is a hideous thing. But what you do know, because you see it happen even now, as one of the spirits sort of puts its hands up against the glass of the inside of this thing, and then you see it going, it starts to get drawn backwards. And you watch as its form sort of elongates and gets pulled into where the umbilical cord is attached. And you watch this sort of bulge move through the umbilical towards this abomination and move into it where the umbilical cord attaches. And then the creature sort of it seems to be absorbing the souls, eating them through this umbilical cord. Sorry, you got me in the side chat. Yeah, you definitely know this is the soulmonger, and whatever this creature is, it is absolutely eating the souls through its umbilical. The actions are yours to make. No, nothing is attacking you. Nothing. The tentacles just seem to be moving through the space around the air. This creature's floating a little more content now. Its shriveled, sort of atrophied arms seem to almost be like playing at its deformed body. The longer you do nothing, the more I'm just going to keep making those sounds and doing this. Now you're just testing me.
I speak whale too.
This sounds like footage from like a Discovery Channel show.
Right.
Look at the giant demon baby in its natural habitat.
So I think Brilinya would point towards that kind of tube that is going from this vat to this demonic abomination, and just finally finding her voice again. I think we need to sever that and then be ready for whatever comes.
Agree.
Qualu will chime in. If I destroy one of these beams, perhaps the whole thing will come collapsing down into that lava.
That's a good idea. Destroy the entire thing in one shot.
How many of these supporting things are there?
There are 3. 1 directly in front of you attached to the floor, and 2 extending to the 2 balconies on either side. The creature is on the far side of the soulmonger, and it has those 4 tentacles that are writhing around.
All right. Perhaps each one of us should aim for one, and then one other person can help another to destroy a beam.
Agreed. I can fast step over to the to one of the landings, attack one of the struts.
Let us not split up.
I think
Think for a moment here.
well, I can hit.
Have you
one
ever
far away.
seen a cow with 3 legs?
Is this going to turn into some stupid euphemism? Because I mean, honestly, like we're a little busy right now.
If you knock one of the legs out of the cow, what happens to the cow?
Probably gets pissed off and then falls over.
Exactly. We will have this soulmonger become pissed off and fall over into the lava by destroying 1 leg, not 3. Qualu can do math. Qualu knows that 1 is less than 3. But it's not split up.
All right then.
So which
Fine.
one do you suggest that we attack?
I don't know. How about the one that's right there? He points to the one that's like 15 feet in front of him.
Wouldn't that also like catapult kind of the soul in front of us?
Wouldn't it like topple inwards?
Maybe.
Because
I
it's
don't
like
know.
has 3 legs, right? And if you get rid of one of the legs, it falls in.
Here's the thing.
That's Qualu's
is that
idea.
the
Gotta
souls,
beat up a 3-legged cow.
the souls are trapped inside that thing. So I assume that if the thing is destroyed, the souls will be free to go wherever they want. It's not like they're going to be burned by lava, the souls. So if we just destroy this thing.
Only the souls of feet can be burned by lava.
Just stop. Why are you the way you are?
because
Alright,
that's
so
how my player rolled me as.
Bloody goat. All right.
Three-legged goat. That's a better one. I should keep that one next time. Three-legged goat, not three-legged cow. What was I thinking?
Okay. Well then, I'm gonna aim for. I'm gonna look for that first strut. Then.
All right. You're going to attack the first strut. Who else is attacking the first strut?
Qualu will.
Yep.
Qualu will smash the first strut.
So
with
we're,
his
I'm
giant-
sorry. Were you all planning to like
Mhm.
concentrate your attacks then?
Yep.
Okay.
That's Qualu.
I mean, I'm
Qualu's idea.
casting. I'm casting a spell, mind you.
Sure.
So.
Okay. We're not in initiative order, so you can. Whoever wants to go first, can take a shot at it.
Uh,
All right.
if,
Well,
if you don't block him, Qualu will do the honors.
wait. Are you just gonna go up and smash it?
Yes.
Because the spell I have is kind of a ranged thing. And it's a damaging spell.
Keep in mind that the struts are like 30 or 40 feet long. Unless you're trying to concentrate right at the connection point.
Yeah.
That's probably where I'll
Okay.
hit it right. Yeah.
Perhaps Vale, we will attack at the same time, so this sleeping baby does not
You-
wake up as quickly.
You know what? Just hang on a minute. Why don't I do my thing? Once that thing is over with, then you go run in and do your thing really quickly.
I will stand by and wait for you to think you're done.
Just trust me on this one. And I'm gonna
Trusting
cast.
Vale.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be casting Ice Storm at level 4.
Okay.
The strut needs to make a Dex saving throw.
The strut automatically fails. It is an inanimate
Oh,
object.
I'm shocked. Shocked, I tell you. All right, it's going to take 2d8 bludgeoning. And that's going to be 9 points of bludgeoning. And then it's going to take...
I have no paper.
Nope. Sorry, that's the wrong one. And then it also takes 46 cold damage.
All right, so hold on. It took 9 points of bludgeoning.
9 points of bludgeoning.
Every one of my pens is gone. I packed everything up while I was remodeling.
I blame Kaeryn.
Head up. 1 second. All over.
Yeah, and I
got
did 697 points of cold damage.
Kaeryn, hand me that pen. I'll grab it. I got it. Thanks. Okay, so it was 9 points of
9 points of bludgeoning. Yeah, and 19 points of cold damage.
All right, let me.
As the struts become very brittle now. Brittle.
Oh,
That is it. You make it rain.
interesting.
Watch a true master
So,
go in.
so it becomes brittle.
It doesn't actually become brittle. That's more of a flavor thing.
Okay.
I'm
No,
basically
so
trying to like.
you,
Obviously, steel can't be cold, or metal can't be cold.
so you see these as you hit it, these ice crystals just radiate across it and sort of form this scaled like magical ice that, despite the magical nature of it, already begins melting from the heat rising up from the lava. You suddenly hear above your head as one of the tentacles lashes out at you, Vale. That is a 17 to hit.
That misses.
It right next to your ear, nearly hitting you. All right. Who's
Paulo
next?
sees these tentacles slashing about, and knows that the beast probably has risen, or at least woken from this and roused. He will do his best to strike at all the brittle points that have been caused by this ice storm, by not walking across the beam, of course, but kind of like on the edge of the platform, and just smashing down where it kind of like connects, I guess, if that makes sense.
All right.
And he'll just go to town on it until he dies, I guess, from tentacles.
So you have you're going to use your full 4 attacks.
That's correct.
All right, roll them up.
All right, perfect. It's gonna be. I'm assuming that it doesn't really move around much. That's gonna be a 14 to hit.
What are you attacking? Oh, you're attacking with your goat staff, right?
Goat staff, yeah.
So there's that. If you've ever hitten something solid with a wooden baseball bat and it sort of reverberates your hand, your first strike does just that. It does no damage, but it just sort of makes your hand sting with the vibration.
Right. It goes for the second hit. It's going to be a 25.
That one has the vibration instead goes through the adamantine strut.
Another 25. And a natural 20.
All right. So go ahead and roll those 2 25s up first.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, so that's going to be just good old this guy. So it's going to be, ooh, that's a max damage. That's going to be 26 for the first one of magical bludgeoning. 25 for the second hit of magical bludgeoning. And then I got to figure out how the heck.
So the crit is automatic max damage with all your modifiers and everything, and then you'll roll any damage dice on top of that.
Yeah, so I got to do some quick math here. 16 plus 18. Okay, plus 2d8. Okay. 6 and a 7, so that's 13. That makes me 9. 57 damage for the critical hit.
57?
57 magical bludgeoning. Yep.
All right. Qualu, as you're striking it, you're watching as these brittle... It looks like you're breaking away the ice that Vale's magic put onto this thing. And you hit it, and you can hear the adamantine begin to ring, to resonate, this sort of boom, boom, and then you hit it, and it goes boom. And you watch the entire length of the strut as a crack forms. And then it sort of, you hear this as the weakened strut, the entire form of the soulmonger begins to tilt towards you where you've weakened the strut. And then you hear as that strut snaps, the soulmonger twists forward. The other 2 adamantine struts begin to twist, and then they rip out of the 2 balconies' walls with a tremendous sound. Brilinya, you see the umbilical cord where it was attached as this thing twists away, snaps, and this creature begins to wail, and it's spewing black goo from the end of it, almost like a slow motion fire hose. The entire soulmonger goes, hits into the lava, and the tentacles sizzle. And you watch as at first dozens and then hundreds of spirits begin sailing around the room, souls traversing the area. And Brilinya, I would like you to roll a D100. Qualo, I'd also like you to roll a D100.
I got a 49. Nope, 41.
All right. And
And
Qualo?
I got a 3.
Wow. You both rolled just in. Actually, Brilinya, you were close. Closer, Qualu, you rolled within, but just barely. Brilinya, all of you see this. But as all of these spirits begin sailing and they sort of begin to swirl around the room, and some of them seem to stop by the four of you, in particular Qualu and Vale, who just had a part in severing this. And then one spirit in particular seems to move against the current. And you see the vague outline of a tiefling woman in front of you, Brilinya. Shimmering. And you recognize your sister, Gunslinger Cole. Her spirit lingers for just a moment. She looks down at you as she's sort of hovering upward, seems to be struggling against the form or the pull of all of these spirits ascending. And you see a smile, and then she just blows a kiss to you and lets herself be pulled into the current as she floats upward through the ceiling. Another spirit moves towards Qualu, and you recognize the thin, though now radiant, silhouette of your friend Dunala. And he somehow, despite the pull, you actually see tendrils of his form start being pulled away, and you see his dreadlocks sort of moving like wisps. He stands there with his hands on his hips in a stance that just seems to look at you, and he just gives you a nod. That's the Dunala seal of approval. The Dunala and Marquise nod of, you did good. And then he doesn't let himself be pulled backwards. He just turns and rises up. And all of this happens within just a few moments as the spirits rise up through the ceiling and vanish. But the creature is still left in the room and is floating towards you. This creature, Vale, you hear for the first time in quite a while in your mind the voice of Ubtao. Vale Istafall, this is your moment to shine. The creature before you is not of this world. It is an atropal, and you just destroyed its food source. Remove my city of this monstrosity. And I would like you all to roll for initiative. Oops, that's the wrong one. Collection. Whoops. My encounters. Hold on, I need to bring up my encounters. There we go. Run encounter. Perfect. Vale, what'd you get?
I got a 15.
Qualu.
At 12.
Brilinya.
8.
Taliel.
9.
And is a reduction. Okay. Vale. you are up first as this creature begins heading towards you.
Is it moving quickly?
Yes. It seems to be flying very rapidly. It just seems to sort of will itself towards you. It looks like it will probably close with you all by the time you take your action. In other words, it's going next.
Gotcha. Well, I'm not gonna make it do all the work, so I don't know, can I reach it? Or is it still just flying?
So it is, because it just started moving towards you. Let's see how far away from you it was. It is 5, 10, 15, 20 feet away from the edge of the balcony. So it's basically still there where the tentacle or the umbilical was severed. And it has just sort of changed its position, like it's going to lunge towards you.
All right. Then I'm going to cast another spell. I'm going to cast Moonbeam right in front of it. So when it does, start its next turn, it's going to be in a world of hurt.
All right. So it will, as your moonbeam comes down from the ceiling and you sort of place it in its path, this creature, you hear it sort of as it lunges towards you, and it absolutely passes right through the moonbeam. So go ahead and roll that moonbeam damage.
Yep, and it took 11 points of moonbeam damage, radiant. It took me a second. 11 points of radiant damage.
Roll me an insight check.
Waja. Bloop. Oops. Bloop. There we go. Oh, dang. Might be a 27. Thanks, D&D Beyond Dice.
You notice that this, though the moonbeam isn't like cranked all the way up, you notice that the radiant energy is searing at this thing's flesh. It seems to be doing more damage than you would have expected it to do. But it comes rushing towards you, and it is going to, as you cast this moonbeam, it has no idea, though, that you are responsible for this thing happening. So it is going to, maybe it does. It doesn't. Let's see, there's 4 of you, so it looks like it's going to be Taliel that it targets. You need to make a Constitution saving throw.
This may or may not be good. That is a 14.
18, 22, 28, 20, or 33, 36, 42 points of necrotic damage that seems to leak out of you as it is draining life from you. And as it does so, this life energy sails across the chamber, and you watch as some of the wounds from that it sustained from Vale's moonbeam are healed. Nope, I damaged it. Let me try that again. And it's as if it never even took the moonbeam damage. Though, if you put it right in front of the balcony, it is technically still in the moonbeam. So remember that, Vale. that is its turn. It is now right pretty much at the edge of the balcony here. And it chose to attack Taliel. And it is Qualu's turn.
How far away is it from the edge of the ledge?
It's pretty much right up to the edge.
Right. It means that Qualu is going to be right next to it then, which means that Qualu goes smashy smashy.
All right.
Qualu will initiate his smashy smashy spell, which he uses as a 15th level wizard. 14th level fighter. All right, so that's going to be 16 to hit. A 16 to hit, a natural 20, and a 11 to hit.
Yes. All
Even
of them
11?
hit. I was just laughing because I realized how low this thing's AC is.
All right.
It's a big squishy baby, okay?
Okay, I will beat up the baby. So I'm going to do these hits. Okay, so that's going to be, the first one's going to be 22 damage.
22 bludgeoning magical?
Yeah, magical bludgeoning. Second one's going to be 26 magical bludgeoning.
All right.
Then the critical hit, which I've calculated it.
2.
And the critical hit's going to be 47 points of magical bludgeoning damage.
1 million points.
And the last hit.
Hold on. What was the critical hit?
47?
47.
Oh, no, 50. Was it 57? I can't remember anymore. I think it was 47. Yeah, it was 47.
Out loud 47. So.
Yeah, 47. Yep.
All right.
And then the last one will be 24.
Wow. So, Qualu, you just are beating this thing senseless. And you see the bruises forming all over it, the skin breaking, and it's just wailing in protest as you are doing so. And it will, as it begins to reel from you striking it, it begins to wail even louder. And it's just in your ears, all of you. And I need all of you to make a Constitution saving throw, as it is using a legendary action. Just as a reminder, you do have 25 domain dice.
Yeah, I think you know what we're saving that for.
It's like you don't think this is the boss.
Yeah.
I even refrained from doing action search. You know,
No, hey, I hear you.
You're like that soulmonger went down awful quick. All right. So, what was your con saves?
I got a 26.
You are good.
Am I within 10 feet of Vale?
I'd say you're all within 10 feet of Vale.
That's a +4 bonus then?
Yep, +4.
Then that'll be a 21 for me.
You are good.
Did I say 21? I mean, sorry, hold up. 25.
So good.
So it'll be a 30 for Taliel.
Good.
Also,
Lord.
also everyone make sure that you know that you'll also get resistance to damage from spells while you're within 10 feet.
Good to know.
So would that have changed the damage that Taliel took?
Yeah, well, would have halved it.
Yes.
Okay.
So you took 42, so you'd only take 21 from that. And that would change how much it healed. So I'm going to give it a little more damage. All right. Brilinya, what'd you get?
That's a 10.
And Vale, what'd you get?
I got a 26.
Oh, sorry, Taliel, what did you get on your save?
30.
Oh, that's right. Everybody resists this whale except for Brilinya. It seems to pierce into you even harder, affecting you on a deeper level, and you now have 1 level of exhaustion. And Taliel, it is your turn.
So Taliel is going to strike out with her sword multiple times at this fleshy creature in front of us. Okay, so we have a 21, a 15, and an 11.
All of those are hits.
Woohoo! Okay, and this is magical damage, all of it. So 9, is it 9 slashing, 6 slashing, and 5 slashing.
All right.
Yeah, and that's just my turn. As Taliel stands by Qualu and harries this thing.
All right. As you slash out at it, you're just cutting into this thing. Every rip of your sword, you see not blood, but this viscous black oil-like substance that seems to not drip down into the lava, but seems to float away from it. Brilinya, you are up.
We see this static electricity begin to bounce off the walls and suddenly attack this, come together in this force around this demonic thing. It has to make a intelligence saving throw.
That's a natural 20 or a 27.
I'm going to get you to re-roll that.
All right, that's 2 domain dice. Re-rolling that. That is now a 22.
All right. Well, it still takes 15 points.
Ooh, points of electrical damage or psychic or
Psychic.
Sorry, how much was that? 15?
Yes, 15.
You see it sort of like reaching towards its head with its short, deformed arms, trying to. And I need all of you. You're not going to do anything except you're going to take 10 points of necrotic damage. As this thing is screaming out in pain. I'm actually retconning that you're all within its negative energy aura. This is the first time you're feeling this because you're close enough to it. It's just exuding this negative energy and is actually hurting you with necrotic damage. We are at the top of the order, Vale. It is your turn. Now, because we are at the top of the order, Vale, you're going to take 9 more points of necrotic damage because you're starting your turn still within 30 feet of this thing.
So 4.
Yes. What would you... Oh. Nope, it hasn't started its turn yet. What would you like to do?
Well, I mean, I'm going to hit it with my sword.
All right.
Now, here's a question, though. Now, I know for a while we've been doing the whole, like, rolling with disadvantage and stuff. But it's like, look, The thing's the size of like a mid-size hot air balloon. Maybe a small hot air balloon.
It is huge sized.
Truly, I would not be striking with disadvantage on this thing. I mean, come on.
The disadvantage is more for the fact that you are fighting with your offhand. However, I want you to roll me a D100.
Oh, okay. Hang on. There it is. A 36.
A 36?
Yep.
Let's see. So that would be, yep. I rolled a 23, so you were within the range. Because Ubtao basically spoke to you through this dark place, I will allow you, as you fight this creature, to not have to deal with the thing. The disadvantage. Also, I don't know why I'm not hearing my alerts or why they're not firing off, but looks like we got a couple more domain dice for you from some bits from Antonia Queen Scribe. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. All right then.
I just happened to notice it looks like some kind of snowball, a snowman bursting in the flame. So that caught my eye.
Legit. 100% legit.
All right, so yes, you do not have to attack this creature at disadvantage.
Wonderful. All right, then I am going to strike it. Strike it good. Hopefully. And that is a 13 to hit.
That'll hit.
Thank goodness. Okay, so let me just check. Nope, not that one. Not that one. Not that one. That one. Here it is. Okay. So, just need to actions. All right, so it's going to take. It's going to take 8 points of magical piercing damage.
All right.
And 8 points of radiant damage.
The radiant damage seems to sear its flesh more.
And then I'm going to attack it again.
All right.
No, that is a 12 to hit.
That is a hit.
It is? Oh my god. What is this AC? Like paper? Never mind.
It is a giant space baby. I'm trying to make it seem less of problematic when I call it a giant baby that you are attacking.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, no, that's
basically
fair.
It is. It's this giant otherworldly infant-like creature, though it is definitely some kind of it's a death baby. Cole Sparks just said.
Fair enough.
I mean, it is. You are in the Death God's Nursery, so
also fair. So for the second attack, since it hits, it is going to be 13 points of magical piercing, and 8 more points of radiant damage. It's actually really handy.
All right. Yeah, this thing.
That's.
Is that it?
Yeah, I was say that's my whole thing.
This thing is just getting torn apart. There's a lot of this black goo is just spilling off of it, almost like liquid smoke. And it is going to first sort of, first you need to roll your moonbeam damage because it's still in the moonbeam.
Yeah, moonbeam. Blip. Actually, wait. I got to make sure that it's at the right level. Yep, it was at 2. So that's another 10 points of radiant damage.
So that'll be 20 radiant damage. As it begins searing its flesh some more, and it is going to first, as it's right up close, it is going to target you, since you were just attacking it. And it seems to have figured out, it's definitely figured out that you're the one hitting it with this radiant energy. You need to make a Constitution saving throw.
That is a 27.
12, 21, 22, 23. You saved on 23, which is abysmal for 4d8. You saved on 23, knocking it down to 12, and then so you're only going to take what, 6 necrotic damage. But it does seem to draw some of that energy into itself, but not much, because it hit you with very little negative energy. That was its turn. I forgot to do the other thing, which was also it's using a legendary action on you. And you watch as this deformed part of its body, its arm, seems to sort of grow a little bit longer as it reaches towards you. And it literally just touches you, or attempts to touch you. That is going to be... It's probably not going to touch you. That is going to be a 13. As it attempts to touch you, and it just can't quite reach towards you. Its hand literally just going... that is its turn. Oh wait, no. It is actually going to move 25 feet to the right. Which means it'll be moving to all of your left. As you're looking at it, to get out of the moonbeam. Qualu. It stays up along the edge of the balcony, though.
All right, perfect. Qualu will run across the edge of the balcony, knowing that it cannot escape the wrath of my stick as I batter it once more in the head, knocking out some baby teeth. I attack it 4 times.
All right.
That's going to be a 22 to hit, a 27 to hit, a 24 to hit, and a natural 1.
Okay. So with that, we'll see what your damage does to see if it can get off its opportunity attack for that fail.
So that's going to be, let's reroll there. That's 19 for the first hit, 19 magical bludgeoning, 22 magical bludgeoning, and 24 magical bludgeoning.
All right, and it is going to attempt to touch you. That is a 26 to touch you.
Yep, that touches me.
With that same extended hand, it reaches out. As you swing at it and miss, it just these wet, slimy, and ridiculously cold fingers touch your arm, and you take 9 points of necrotic damage.
Ouch. That's my turn.
All right. It is also going to, as it caresses your arm as you pass through with this missed hit, it gazes into, or attempts to gaze into, your soul. And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
And me?
Wait, no, sorry. It can't do that on its legendary action. It can't do that one. Instead, it is going to and I need you all to make a Constitution saving throw. As once again, it is wailing.
I'm going to use a domain dice, please, and thank you.
All right. One domain die.
There we go. That's a big old fat 26.
All right. Brilinya,
11.
Taliel,
23.
Vale.
$26.
Everybody but Brilinya passes Brilinya. This whale is just cutting into you. You take another level of exhaustion. Taliel, it is your turn. The creature, this atropal, is, you're looking at it floating up in front of you, a little ways away where it moved down the row, and it seems as if between everybody hitting it and attacking it, it's barely holding together.
Taliel is going to follow in Qualo's footsteps and rush towards where the creatures moved to and attack it some more. Okay, so that is a a 12,
Hit,
a 16,
hit,
and an 8.
hit.
I'm sorry, not an 8, 10.
Still a hit.
2 on the day. Okay. Wow. Well, that's awesome. So
yeah.
Just know you hit as long as you don't.
The death baby has an AC of 7.
So that was a 2
It's
on
a
the
baby.
die. So it's a baby. It doesn't do anything. All right. So we are doing 9 points of magical slashing, 6 points, and 6 points.
All right. It has. It does nothing in response, but continues to leak this goo everywhere into the area around it. It's almost obscured. I mean, it's not mechanically obscured, but it just seems to be these tendrils just wafting around it of this black goo. Brilinya, what are you going to do?
I think Brilinya. Brilinya's gonna chuck some Eldritch Blasts at it. That seems appropriate. So then that's a 26, a 28, and a 19 to hit.
Yeah. Yeah, all of those are hits.
Perfect. So that is going to be 29 points. Yes, 29 points of force damage, as well as it pushes them back, I think.
Brilinya, how do you want to end the Atropal? What does it look like as you blast this thing with Eldritch energy?
I imagine it's kind of almost stuttering a little bit as it approaches, or is suspended in the air, and it's almost as if Brilinya has detached the last few invisible strands, you could almost imagine, that hold this thing up. As its strength has been all but totally diminished, it plunges into the lava below.
This thing wails the entire time. Its wails filling the air. And as it hits the lava, all of that suspended black goo just goes, turns into a black rain, and you hear it. And you watch this thing float and dissolve in the lava before you. And then you see on that balcony on the far side where that mist gate is, you see a figure appear. A skeletal figure wrapped in moldering robes, clutching a staff with a skull on top. Hateful pinpricks of white light burn in his eye sockets, and a 2-foot diameter sphere of pure darkness manifests in the air next to him. And that is where we are going to take a break. That seemed like a good place. You've killed the Atropol. You've killed the giant undead space baby. And it seems as though somebody else is here to deal with you all. So we're going to see how this goes in just a few minutes. We are going to go ahead and take roughly a 10-minute break. Go ahead, use this time to use the facilities, refresh your beverages, stretch your legs. We'll see you in just a few minutes. And we're back. When we left, the skeletal form of none other than a Serarak appeared, holding his skull-tipped staff and with a sphere of black energy that looks identical to the energy force to which you sacrificed your arm, Vale, floating in the air 2 feet in diameter next to him. He is on the far side on that balcony, and he looks at all of you. And you hear this voice, this ancient evil voice resonating across this chamber. You puny mortals, you would dare to desecrate and destroy my creations. You will pay. Vale, Qualu, and Brilinya, you all hear within your mind a scream of rage from the trickster gods that inhabit you, as almost simultaneously they all cry out. You can, if it was all together, you wouldn't even be able to understand them, but you can barely in your mind understand. It was him! It was him that put us away! It was him that killed us and tricked us and imprisoned us! Revenge! Get revenge! As you roll for initiative, the three of you have a couple special features from your trickster gods. All of you, all three of you, that is, will gain 50 temporary hit points at the start of every turn. Also, when you successfully make an attack roll against a Serarak and it hits, the attack will deal an extra 3d6 psychic damage. You feel the trickster god's energy coursing through you. Well, all of you except for Taliel, whose trickster god is suppressed. But I need you all to roll for initiative as you prepare to do battle against a Serarak. Vale, Istafall, what did you get?
17.
17. Walu.
12 again.
Brilinya.
16.
Taliel.
19.
And for a Serarak. Really? Fucking dice. A Serarak will not be going first. Let me see. That's Okay, that is Taliel at the top of the order. What would you like to do? As we'll, I'll go back to the map for reference, despite the fact the Soulmonger and the Istafall are gone. The Serac is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60 feet away from you on that southern balcony.
Oh, 60 feet, huh?
Yep.
I would like to drop my sword and shield and take out my bow to shoot an arrow.
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay. And I will shoot at that man thing standing over there. Okay, so we got a nat 20 on one,
Which of course will hit.
and then sorry, action plus 11. So then 23
Hit.
on the next one, and then I got a 1. So I
All right,
think
well, the one won't hurt you since you're far away from him. There's not a way that he can gain an opportunity to attack. So, yeah, the crit, of course, is the max damage. And then roll your damage dice again.
Yeah, and I would like to use one of the arcane shots. As that one goes off, it is actually going to explode on him. It's the bursting arrow when it happens. So that first one. So, okay, so max damage. Plus 12. Okay, so that first arrow is going to do 33 points of magical piercing.
All right.
And then the other 2 arrows, oh, sorry, just one arrow, is just a regular D. 12 points of magical piercing.
Your shots sail across the room, striking Serac. As each one hits him, the first one actually sort of causes his shoulder to move backward a little bit. The other one strikes him, and he just looks at him, reaching up to where the arrows struck him. And as he touches the arrows, they just turn to ash. You've heard him, but he just looks across at you. And let's see what he can do. Serac is going to make a ranged spell attack. He is going to point a skeletal hand in your direction, Taliel. And that is going to be a 26 to hit. And you will take 7, 15, 22 points of cold damage as he fires off with barely a thought, fires off a ray of frost at you.
And so that would be halved because I'm by Vale? Is that...
You are not by Vale. You and Qualu
Oh,
ran off to the side to
that's-
deal with Theatripal.
Okay, so 22?
Yep.
22.
As he used one of his legendary actions. It is now Vale's turn.
So, quick question: how far is a Sararak from me exactly?
60 feet.
Okay. So if is there any way that I can reach him? Because I'm assuming he's on like that, or it's on that kind of floating.
He's on the far side, so unless you have a way to fly or teleport, you can't get to him. You'd have to
I
be
do,
okay.
but not.
The balconies are 5, 10, 15, 20.
I count
About-
30.
It'll take you 30 feet to get on safely onto the edge of the balcony.
Okay, then I'm going to do that. I'm going to run and I'm going to jump or going to Misty Step onto
The left one or the right one?
as we're looking at it, onto the left one.
Okay. Screen left. Perfect. So that was a Misty Step, which is a bonus action.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what spells I've got. It's like, what can I cast on him? What can I? Nope.
I feel like I should have had purple flames in the background here for a Serac.
Hmm. Yeah, I guess I'll use the rest of my turn to. Is there a place that I can hide? Like, is there a place that I can kind of move off to the side to kind of be out of like direct line of sight?
Yeah, you can duck. Use your movement to kind of duck around into that little curvature on the south side. Now, where you are on this balcony, you notice that there are clay, glass, and metal urns of so many different types sitting up here. But you can absolutely kind of duck out of view and move into that curvature where he can't see you.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that,
All right.
and that'll be my turn for now.
Okay. Brilinya, it's your turn.
Okay. Brilinya is you see like this tornado of air and almost like this fiery wind come together that is being just extruded from these from the off gases of the lava. It seems to all coalesce together, and you see these two eyes beginning to form, and these hands form out of this this shape as Brilinya is going to summon an air elemental.
What level is that spell?
It is I don't know. 5th level.
So that would be okay. As you are casting this, Serac is going to attempt to counterspell. So that is a level 5. That makes it a DC 15. And when you counterspell, 4th or higher, you make an ability check using your spell casting ability modifier. That is a 16.
Can we roll that?
You want to spend 2 domain dice?
Yes.
If ever there was a time to do so. That is a 34. As he just waves his hand and your spell is spent and does not fire off. You're going to have to do more than that if you are going to defeat me. Qualu.
So I am hanging on a limb here. If I were to run from the ledge and leap in the air, how far is it to the closest any kind of ledge across the lava?
Well, let me double check something.
I can do a long jump of 20 feet. So if it's longer than 20 feet, then I will end up in the lava, which means I will not jump.
It is at the closest point 5, 10, 15, 20. It's 25 feet at the absolute closest point to leap to a balcony.
Okay. Because you said that all of the soulmonger apparatus has fallen into lava, or is it still like hanging onto the walls in some places? Like,
No,
could
the
I,
whole
like, try
thing
to, like-
the whole thing broke out, broke away, tore from the balconies, and the whole apparatus fell down into the lava.
And it's all sunk in there?
Yep.
Nothing left of it? Perfect. Perfect. Which means that Qualu gets to, I don't know, stick out his tongue. What else can I do? Oh, I got a Yukulwa and it's thrown.
Yeah.
Okay. I can
you
throw
do,
a single weapon.
You do get a couple more domain dice thanks to Staff and TJ, who is looking for a TPK, apparently. We'll see what we can do with that.
Hang on, not just any TPK. He said a Pyrrhic TPK,
Okay.
which means we all kill each other.
Mhm.
A Sararak, us,
Yeah,
you,
everyone's dead. Yeah.
everyone.
We are just getting started. I even brought out the purple torches. So, Qualu, you were discussing the possibility of throwing your Yukawa.
Yeah. So the only thing that I can do, I think here. Oh, I can't even because it's only a range of 30 feet.
Is it 30 max? Like at
No,
disadvantage?
it's 10/30 for the range. Oh my
Oh,
God. Okay, never mind. I don't know. Gonna make some noises, I guess.
Qualu, make an athletics check.
Okay. I will allow that. That is going to be an 18 on the die for a total of, goodness gracious, 28.
If you want to, I will allow you to make a disadvantaged attack with your Yukawa. You will be able to summon the force to strike out. I also forgot something. I just realized this. Oh, wait, no, it wouldn't have mattered because you were the only one that did damage. Never mind. Ignore my words. Except for you, Connor. Qualu, you can, if you wish, make a disadvantaged Yukawa attack.
All right. How many domain dice is it for a super max crit?
It is 5, but you have to hit before you can summon that.
All right. Let's do it. Let's see if I hit with my Yukulwa as I toss it. Advantage. Okay. Launch it. That is going to be a 21 to hit.
You just put everything into this. You toss it, and it actually, the only way you could get it to go this distance was you actually don't toss it like a spear. It goes hurling end over end. Whack! Right into Sararak. It does hit him.
Mm-hmm.
And you are
Gonna
also
be-
you are going to
Okay.
also get a 3d6 bonus psychic damage because you struck him. As
Okay,
he
then that-
feels the force of Shigambe behind this
So that's going to
attack.
be 9 points of magical piercing and 10 points of psychic. So that's 19 total
All
from
right.
the Hilwa. And that's it.
Okay. As your Yukawa strikes him, it clatters to the ground at his feet. And let's see. In reaction, as a legendary action, he is going to... He reaches his right hand up and just makes a motion towards you, and that sphere of pure black energy just sails silently across the space directly towards you, Qualu. As it does so, let's see. You need to make a dexterity saving throw as it enters your space.
Natural 20 for a total of 21.
You just dodge out of the way as this thing, without any inertia at all, just goes to where you were standing and just stops. You just avoid it. And so you will not take any damage from this thing. It is now Sarek's turn.
I can smell the stench of that foul absentee god Ubtao on you. Let's see if he can protect you here.
Vale, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw as he points his skull-topped staff towards you.
Doubt it. That was an 11.
All right. You feel this negative energy strike you. And you are now cursed. Until this curse ends, you cannot regain hit points. And you are now vulnerable to necrotic damage. Yeah, you cannot regain hit points. I'm wondering if... Does that also stop your temp hit points then? I think it would, because you can't gain hit points. Right?
Yeah, so I would stop gaining it. I would just keep the ones that I have now.
Right, but what I mean is you won't be able to gain those 50 temp hit points at the start of your turn from your trickster god because of this curse. So Sarak has cursed you with his staff. He is then going to... Well, he can't do that because he just used that. So he is going to... Oh, wait a minute. Retcon. He can't do that to you because you hid from him. You're out of sight.
That's true. I only assumed that he's a lich, so he had some preternatural,
Nope.
you know.
That's
big
my
dick
bad.
energy or
I was
something.
thinking
Okay.
of where you were, and I was picturing you were still on the other side with everybody. He still says that he can smell the stench of Ubtao on you, but he seems to be saying it more to the room. Instead, he's going to look at Qualu, who just threw his Yukawa at him, And oh, let's see.
So I'm not cursed, right?
No, you are not. Qualu, you need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Gonna be a 21.
That is a fail. As he points his staff at you, and you see the skull on the end of the staff, green energy light up in its eyes, and it opens its mouth and just shoots across at you. I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 14 plus 3 more, 14, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. You take 66 points of necrotic damage.
66, you say?
Yes. As he has just cast Finger of Death at you. We are now on a new turn order. Taliel, it is your turn.
I can do this forever. Keep at me. I will destroy you all one by one, or all together. It makes no matter to me.
Yeah, I think while he's talking, she's just going to shoot 3 more arrows at him. Oh, I got another nat 20, so that's so
Nice.
exciting. And a 21 and a 17.
The 21 will hit, the 17 will not.
Okay. Okay, so do the crit again. Be my last bursting arrow. Boom. Shot. So 14. Roll this and these. Oh, that's nice. Okay. So that'll be 43 points of magical piercing on that first arrow.
All right.
And then the second arrow is max damage, so for 14 more magical piercing.
Same thing. The arrows, as they hit him, they strike him. That first one actually just went straight through him and vanished into that mist gate behind him. The second one strikes him, and he just touches it. It turns to ash, and he looks across at you.
I can see you are going to be a problem.
And he is going to use a legendary action to... He is going to use a legendary action to do what? Oh, let's see. There's so many options.
Well,
You know
while
what? He's going to use that. He's going to take his hand and just go. And he's going to slide that sphere of annihilation at you. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Oh, let's hope so. That is a 17. Do I fail because I have a thing that allows me to reroll if I fail?
Let's see. You dodge out of the way.
Oh, sweet.
It misses you.
I would
What
like
is-
to use my action surge to, after I've dodged out of the way and kind of do a roll tumble, to shoot 3 more arrows.
You're going to action surge against him.
Yeah.
Perfect. As you charge your bow,
Yeah.
he just waves his hand in front of him, and you see a shimmering as he uses his reaction to cast shield.
Okay. So I rolled a 27, 26, and 17.
The 27 will hit, the 26 will hit, the 17 will not.
Will not. Okay. So that'll be 12 points magical piercing and then 11 points of magical piercing. And as a bonus action, I'm going to take my second wind. And I'm done. If I can.
Okay. It is going to be Vale's turn from his hidden position.
Yeah, and they ain't gonna be hidden no more. I'm going to run out, jump to. Can I make it? If I like, can I run and jump onto that balcony where Sararak is?
If you run and jump, that's going to be 5, 10, 15, 20. What is your jump distance?
Oh crap! How do I figure that out again?
It's has to do with your
I
strength
think it's your
score.
strength score.
Yep, you jump a number of feet equals your strength score.
Oh, that's it?
A long jump. Yep.
Okay, so my strength is 18, so that's okay. You know what? I will just Misty Step right over to him.
Okay.
And then
that's going to be another domain die for you for Coal Sparks, continuing their subscription.
thank you, Cole Sparks. And I'm going to use it right away because I'd like to use all 5 of those domain dice that are right down there. And I'm going to hit them. I'm going to double max, but hit them.
Let's see if you hit.
I thought it was an automatic double crit.
You have to hit first. You can.
Do I?
You can turn any hit into a super crit.
Oh, I see. All right.
It's literally the one that's scrolling at the bottom. Turn a hit into a super crit.
I
just glanced at the scroll and it was just scrolling by.
Does a 25 hit?
A 25 does hit.
Then take those 5 domain dice out of there because we're making this max damage, double max damage, and because that's going to hit, I'm also using. I'm going to use a 3rd level spell slot, and I'm going to make this a super divine smite.
All right, let's make it happen.
Hang on though, because I got to figure all this out first. Okay, so just the rapier hitting maximum is 15 magical piercing.
Okay.
So it would be double of that, right?
Yep.
Okay, so that would be 30 points of magical piercing. And then I already have the 1d8 for improved divine smite.
So that becomes an automatic 16.
And then, so let's see what we got here. So 2 with 1 and 2. And then it'll be 4d8 with a level 3 divine smite.
So that'd be 32 doubled to 64. Which becomes, that's 110.
Plus
Yes.
1 from undead.
What's that?
Plus 1 from undead.
Plus 1 from undead.
A D8 from undead. Yeah. On divine smite.
Oh, yes, that's right. Thank you.
So that's another 16.
Yep. So
that's
100
126 points of all kinds of damage.
Yeah, most of that shit's radiant. Only like 30 of it is just magical piercing.
Oh, this is not looking good.
I just want to say that I've been waiting 2 years and 8 months and 70 sessions to do that.
And
Because I was like, I'm gonna hold it until I actually hit the guy.
And your god power.
Oh,
Also-
that's an extra 3d6 psychic damage,
Oh
which
Christ, I
would
forgot
have
about
been
that too.
18. So that's another 36.
36, yeah,
so
points of psychic
you just
damage.
did 162 points of damage to a Serac. So I need to add that. What was it? 1836. Okay, I need a second to look over some things.
You know what? Now I'm just gonna stop you there. Now I could be a jerk because I've got a second attack and just do it again.
This is your game, man.
But no, because that's not fair for all the other players too,
Do
right?
it
You
again.
gotta,
I can't do anything in this fight. Do it again for me.
Do it again. I'm hitting
Do
with
it again
little
for me.
pinpricks.
all right. Are you ready, Jake? Then
Hold on one second.
Okay.
Before you do the second attack, I have to check. It's a new turn. All right, he used his reaction to cast shield. It's still your turn, so he can't take any legendary actions yet. Oh. Shit. All right. Make an attack.
so that's a 27 to hit.
The 27 hits.
So another 5 down, and another max everything.
Oh, I didn't even
damage.
take the 5 off for the first one. So you guys are down to the you went down
Down to 10.
yeah, you're down
No,
to
15.
No, you were down
No,
to 15.
30. No, I think it was 35.
So you're now at 15 total domain dice. Are you doing the exact same attack? The
Exact
full
same attack, yep.
166.
Full shabooby.
All right. Vale Istafall. How do you end a Serac?
Thanks everyone for coming out. I'm out. I run kind of dodging pots as I go to kind of make this as quiet as possible, but I run up, I kind of plant one foot on the railing of this section that I'm on, and then just for a second you see nothing, and I appear kind of striking forward but still 20 feet away, but it's like I'm striking forward, and the first one I just shoot forward, this green energy just slams into a Serac, pushing him back as I almost lift him up off of the ground, dragging it through. It's almost like a vacuum. Various pieces of like broken wood and vines and old things just seem to pull into him, causing him even more damage. And then as I come back, I hold back with my rapier. Ubtao protects, and I kind of come like down in a slash, and like a diagonal slash, again pulling pieces of stone and everything else, just pulling it into the wound, just shattering him completely apart.
You see in this final strike a look of horror passing over his face, and it's almost inaudible. Only you hear this, Vale.
This can't be. It's impossible.
And then his jaw falls off, turning to dust. The rest of his body begins to crumble as he starts to reach towards you, his fingers just crumbling away into dust. And then his robes drop to the ground. His staff clatters at your feet. A golden talisman that he wore around his neck also clatters to the ground. Acererak is defeated. You are no longer in initiative order. What would you like to do? I have no regrets about you using 2 super crits, because that's why the domain dice are there. That's what's unique about our games. You were given enough domain dice in this session by viewers to do that very thing. And like you said, you've been waiting 2 years, 8 months, 210 hours, and you survived the whole way to do that. You still got to get out of the tomb yet, though.
That's true. And you know what, to be honest, yeah, it is. Thanks to everyone who's watched and stuck with it for all that time, because I just, to help me do that was pretty amazing. The fact that I also kind of, I obliterated them.
Yeah.
Which was just that, wow. Yeah.
You did in 2 turns. That means with what was I said, it was 162. You did 324 points of damage in 2 turns. You only had like 400 hit points.
Oh, jeez. That's a lot of hit points.
I didn't get a chance to do the really cool stuff, because I had a couple of things that Acererak could have done that with a touch he would have killed you.
I'm sorry, buddy.
No, you're not.
No, I am. I do feel. Trust me. Hey, I know. The decisions you guys made in Waterdeep Dragon Heist made. I would have had a lot more fun with with some of the characters. But hey, that is what it is. But
yeah, Vale, his robes and his talisman and his staff lie at your feet. The sphere of annihilation that attempted to get both Qualu and Taliel now hovers motionless on the far side by them.
Dang. I mean, I'll probably call out to them. Is everyone okay?
Just my pride's been hurt, nothing more.
What?
Is it over?
I mean, I guess. He's dead. Is there something else we need to do?
Smash the pots.
Smash the pots. Okay.
All of them.
Oh, okay. Well, can somebody get to the other ones on the other side, and I'll get to these ones here that's on the closest to me.
Yeah, Brilinya will cast some Eldritch Blast at the other one.
At the balcony?
And I'll Misty step back over to the other one.
Make Vale, as Brilinya begins firing Eldritch Blasts. Vale, make me a quick Arcana check as you are next to these vases and jars.
10.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, they're made of all kinds of things. Brilinya, you fire a couple Eldritch Blasts into the other balcony, and jars kind of get knocked backwards against the wall, but even the delicate clay jars do not break.
On my end, I just start picking them up and throwing them in the lava. I'm having none of that.
Roll me a D100.
I rolled a 46.
The first jar you chuck into the lava hits the lava and begins floating in it.
I'll call out to the others. Can you see if you can destroy that one? And I'll pick up another one. Toss it in.
Roll a D100.
That is a 38.
It also floats in the lava.
Okay,
Anybody else that can see these as he's chucking them in can go ahead and make a Arcana check.
Got a 17.
As you see you get a look at them as they fall down into the lava. Your suspicion is confirmed when neither of these vessels is destroyed by the lava. These are phylacteries. Liches use them to contain their life force so that they can return. Destroying a phylactery is no simple task. A phylactery often requires a special ritual, a unique item, or some kind of special weapon. For whatever reason, a Serac has collected phylacteries from, well, let's see how many total vases there are here, from 14 liches. It seems highly unlikely, though still possible, continuing to hurl them into the lava would actually destroy them.
all right. Does anybody know how to destroy a phylactery?
You've
Great.
basically got 14 mini campaigns worth of phylacteries there to try to determine whose phylactery it is, how to destroy it, what is it going to take. So you can still chuck them in the lava if you want. They may or may not be destroyed, but or you can take them with you, or you can leave them.
I think Brilinya would want to take them.
Do you have, I forget, do you guys have a bag of holding?
Didn't it get destroyed with coal, or because she had a bag?
Yeah, there was an incident. Somebody in chat suggesting peeing in them. Don't forget, Vale. I mean, you missy stepped back over to the balcony, but there was also, where you downed a Serac, there was a gate, some kind of magical gate of mist right there too.
Oh, was there?
Yeah. Hold on.
Oh.
Go back to the map so you guys can see that again. But that south point of the triangle has a gate of some kind that is this sort of greenish bluish mist.
Yeah.
Brilinya would also offer that we could throw them into those mouths that took Vale's arm.
Yeah, the sphere of annihilation that's like standing right here.
Hey,
beside.
that's a good idea.
So, yeah, as that's happening, I think Taliel is going to cast the mage hand that she has and grab one of the ones from the lava and try tossing it into sphere of annihilation.
Roll me a D100.
63.
It passes through the sphere and clatters harmlessly on the ground.
Okay, well, it was a shot. Is the balcony like 30 feet away? I can't.
Yeah.
Or is it out of 30 feet? I'm going to grab the talisman before we forget about that one, because at least we know that one was.
How are you getting over there?
Mage hand.
Oh. Well. Yeah. Okay. It's 60 feet away. Can you mage hand 60 feet?
No, it has to be 30.
Yeah, his balcony was 60 feet.
Yeah, no, then I can't do that.
So that's a no for the bag of holding. Probably not made.
I mean, unless you have it marked in your inventory.
Yeah, because I think it did get destroyed when Cole.
I vaguely recall there being an incident. I know. Did it get ripped apart when Cole got ripped? When Cole got ripped apart? Yep. I think that's what happened. Because Gunslinger Cole was torn in half by a Allosaur. That was back in, session 20 something? Maybe even sooner or earlier than that. And just so you know, some of these phylacteries, they are no more than the size of maybe like a foot tall and a few inches in diameter. But a couple of them are like more than like 18 inches in diameter, 2 feet tall, unwieldy. Unless you have a magical means of storing them, there's no way you're all going to be able to carry all of these.
Brilinya will still take a few of the smaller ones.
I'm going to say there are 4 that are no bigger than large size potion bottles that you could take.
Perfect. She will take those.
Right. Make sure you write down that you have 4 phylacteries. Somewhere in the world, if somebody kills a lich, they may appear next to you. All right. What about the rest of you? Anybody else going to do anything else with these phylacteries, the staff, the talisman? Qualu's just kind of pacing back and forth on his side of the thing with no way to get across.
Yeah, Taliel's down there with him, just kind of watching and waiting.
And I'll remind you that you were told by, it might have been the dolls, but you were told that somewhere else in this level of the dungeon is a pool that would allow you to throw those black marbles in as a means of escaping the Tomb of the Nine Gods.
I would probably find a way to get to that one area with the swirly doorway thingy.
That's
basically where I killed Azarak.
Yep. Do you have more Misty Steps left?
I have no more Misty Steps left.
You have you have an 18-foot jump distance. It's 20 feet. Similar fashion to Qualu throwing this thing, I'll allow you to make a athletics check to see, just an athletics check to see if you have the strength to even attempt a disadvantage on that jump check, if you want to.
Okay, well, I rolled a 17 on my athletics check.
All right, that will allow you to attempt a jump at disadvantage, knowing that if you miss, you're probably going to go into the lava.
Okay. Actually, I do have a rope. Is there a way that I can fashion a rope to help negate it? Like, can I throw a rope across to something, or?
I mean, unless you have a way
Brilinya
to...
Brilinya could get across and bring a rope with her, too, right? If we have a long enough rope.
Yeah, if you have the means to fly, which, of course, you do as an ASMR.
Mm-hmm.
So here's... I'm going to bring up the map so you guys can sort of puzzle this out. Killing a Serac and destroying the Soulmonger were easy compared to figuring out how to get the heck out of here. If only you had crossed the struts before you destroyed them. So there's your problem solving is you would have to. Well, I'll let you figure out what you guys want to do.
So we could go to the one ledge with the rope, and then go to the do it in 2 steps instead of going from one end to the other.
Well, can you carry someone? No.
Probably not.
Okay.
What's your strength?
8.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
So you were going to use an air elemental to carry Qualu up.
But
Is
I
that
can't cast.
Can't cast it
I
anymore?
can only cast it once every long rest. So
Okay.
There is also the way I narrated it, you do have a small section of adamantine strut in the middle where it was mounted. That one didn't get ripped out of the walls. It had twisted and broken when Qualu struck it. So that is literally the only thing you have to even fashion or attach rope to. Looking at this, there's nowhere else. It's all smooth stone and alcoves. Is this going to be what does you in?
Well, I mean, it makes sense. All right. Well, if we can get the rope, because it's 30 feet from like the nearest point.
It's 30 and then 20. So if that's your plan, Brilinya, you have 1 minute of flying, I believe, correct?
I also have Far Step that I can cast, which is 60 feet. Oh wait, never mind. Far Step, maybe not. Maybe not. But
Yeah, you
know
might
what?
have a little bit of a bad taste in your mouth thinking about that one.
At least she knows how to get out, unless it changes.
Right. Somebody in chat says look for the Eagles. So I will have you make a dexterity check to see if you are able to, after you fasten the rope to the adamantine strut, if you have enough time to get the rope across to, well, actually Vale is already on one of the balconies. You know what?
So I also have a rope of climbing that will actually, once we attach it, we just have to say a word and it will stretch out to where we want it to go.
Oh, perfect.
If that's, and then.
So I was going to say, between Brilinya's ability to fly, I mean, or you could use that. I mean, you're still going to, that's going to leave you with basically you're going to be climbing across the rope, either tight roping it or handing it. That would save you your flight if you used that, or you can use your flight and you would be able to bring a rope over to Vale and then have him secure it and then secure the other end and bring it over to the thing. So it's up to you guys how you want to approach it. I'm not going to make you do any special rolls to solve that puzzle, as you already solved it. You have enough rope, you have a magical rope. So
Yeah,
it's a question of if you're going to use the rope of climbing or if you're going to use your flight.
So I would save your flight because my rope of climbing only weighs 3 pounds. So my ghost hand, my mage hand could carry it to carry it 30 feet. Vale, which balcony are you on?
Would you want to carry it to Vale? Because you got 3 of you need to get over from.
No, but if he secures it there and then we have it, like, either way, like we can have it.
I thought
secure
magically
on
you could
hands.
tell it to tie itself.
Yeah, we could do. So I'm just reading now what it exactly says. You can tell the rope to fasten itself securely to an object or to unfasten itself. To
Okay.
knot or unknot or coil
So
to carry.
here's where the checks are going to come in. because you have this rope of climbing, you can absolutely tell it to secure itself, and because it's magical, it will secure itself tightly. The three of you have to traverse the rope. So I am going to require you to tell me how you plan to cross it, and then I will tell you what to check. Who's going first? Vale, Vale, you're already on the balcony. They're trying to get to you right now.
Oh yeah. Dirt. Look, I'll always volunteer to be the guinea pig.
Right.
Brilinya will go first.
Okay. How are you going to cross the rope?
Like a sloth. More like.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will need an athletics check.
Oh, no. Oh, that's the domain die, please. It's a 14.
It's tense, and you feel your strength waning a bit, but you finally get over to the balcony, and Vale's able to help you up, and you make it. Qualu or Taliel, who's next?
Quali will go next.
Same. You're gonna do the same thing, or you're gonna try something different?
Nope, same thing. Gonna crawl across the rope.
Okay. Athletics check.
Give me a natural 20. Qualu does this with like one arm, the other arm tied behind his back. I don't know, his feet are crossed and he's doing a little acrobatic stunts or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's no problem. You swing down onto it. You don't even have to do the sloth thing. It's just pure upper arm strength as you just, and then you just sort of flip up next to Vale and Brilinya. Taliel, you're all that's left.
Yeah. Yeah, seeing both of them do it, Taliel is also going to do it that same way. And just pray. All right. Now I have advantage on strength checks. Would this count? Because
Yes, it's an athletics check.
Perfect.
Why do you have advantage on strength checks?
Because I drank some beer or something.
Oh, that's right. That is right. Those are 24-hour effects, and it's only been like 9 hours.
And I had so much disadvantage, so it's about time it paid off. So I needed that, so that's good. That will give me a dirty 20.
Yeah, no problems at all. So you are able to make it across the first section, and you've sort of figured out how to do this. In the interest of time, I'm not going to make you roll again for this next one. It's a shorter distance. You're able to use the magical rope, and all of you are able to get across to the point of the triangle where the mist gate is. You also see Serarak's robes, the staff, and the talisman. Let me see here. If I can describe these things for you. The talisman looks like it is a gold chain and is one of the green devil faces that you see, the domain devils. It is that, but cast in gold.
Gold is the proper response, but that's fine.
Gold!
Nah, it's too late. We ruined it. It's fine. If no one stops me, I'll pick it up. And
oh, there we go. Yeah. So,
and examine it.
in keeping with the way we've done these things the whole time, I'm just going to tell you, you have a talisman of the sphere. It is a wondrous item. It is a legendary wondrous item. It requires attunement, but when you are attuned to this Talisman of the Sphere, when you attempt to control a sphere of annihilation, you will double your proficiency bonus on the check to control the sphere. In addition, when you start your turn with control over a sphere of annihilation, you can use an action to levitate it 10 feet plus a number of additional feet equal to 10 times your intelligence modifier. This basically gives you a better chance and bonuses if you attempt to control the sphere of annihilation.
I mean, does anybody want it? Nobody? No? Nobody at all? No? Nobody wants Sphere of Annihilation? No? Really good for getting rid of excess limbs? Really? Nothing? Nobody? No? Nothing?
No, for irony's sake, you can keep it.
Okay. All right, I will. I'll just put it in my bag.
All right. The staff is also
Brilinya will pick that.
Brilinya. The staff of Acererak is known as the Staff of the Forgotten One. It is an artifact. Requires attunement by a sorcerer, a wizard, or a warlock. This crooked staff is carved from bone and topped with the skull of a forgotten archmage whom Acererak destroyed long ago. Etched into the skull's forehack is Acererak's rune, which is known on many worlds as the sign of death. I need to check something. Okay. When the staff is on your person, you have your proficiency bonus to intelligence, arcana, and intelligence history checks is doubled. You cannot be blinded, charmed, deafened, frightened, petrified, or stunned. Undead with a challenge rating of 2 will neither threaten nor attack you unless you harm them. You can wield the staff as a +3 quarterstaff that deals an extra 3d6 necrotic damage on a hit. Basically, add the Staff of the Forgotten One to your sheet if you choose to attune to it. Or keep it. You can also invoke a curse with it. You can summon the Forgotten One and attempt to control them. Or, if you wish, you could attempt to destroy the staff.
Brilinya looks around to the others, kind of questioning. As soon as she picks it up, she can feel the immense power from it, and probably also seeing Acererak use it. But she looks to the others and, do you think I should break it?
I see one person shaking their head and one person nodding their head. Brilinya, make me an insight check.
17.
As you're sort of holding the staff up and considering whether or not you should break it or keep it, 2 things you know, or seem to just understand. One, you could take this staff, you feel its weight in your hand, but it's a long staff. You could probably just break it over your knee. But this is a Acererak staff, and it is filled with powerful magic. In breaking this staff, you might release that magic, so there might be a detrimental effect to doing so. And then you see as the focus sort of shifts across the chamber back to where you all were on the far side, there floats the sphere of annihilation. Decisions.
I think Brilinya is going to keep it for now. She feels the power within it, and it's undeniable. And she is going to just hold on for it. She kind of pauses and she looks, and perhaps when we're out of this tomb, maybe we can decide something.
Oh, like destroy the evil thing. Yeah, not a bad idea. You know, there's a really large pit of lava just behind us. You just toss it into there, you know.
It has a lot of power in it, though. It could be used for good, I think. She was just like looking at it.
Look, don't do this. Don't do this. It's been done. It's been done so much that this is just a bloody cliche. Okay? So just grab the staff, throw it into the fires of Mount Doom, and let's just go. Okay? Okay? Come on. Come on. Tolkien didn't even have it that right, and he was a bit of a twat. We just throw it in. It's not good. You're good. It's evil. Throw it. Let's just go. Let's just go. Come on. Look, you can have the medallion. You can, walk around with a sphere of annihilation. I'll give that to you.
And that's not evil. She looks at the medallion.
You know what? Fair enough. Tell you what. I'll pull the medallion out. Okay? You toss yours in. I'll toss this in. I'm just kind of like dangling it, like clink, 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 clink. Come on. Do it.
Brilinya is going to throw in the staff in the lava.
I'm just gonna follow with my eyes. I'm gonna hold on to thing. I'm gonna follow with my eyes as it goes all the way down into the lava, just in case I don't get any fast swooping in and saving it.
Describe what it looks like as you throw the staff. How are you throwing the staff in? Are you chucking it over the edge? Are you dropping it? What are you doing?
I think Brilinya would hold it over the lava for a while and then slowly just let it drop.
And it lands flat on the surface of the lava. And for a moment, nothing happens. It floats there. And then it begins to a massive explosion of magical energy bursts upward, and I need all four of you to make a dexterity saving throw. And I need a whole lot more D10s.
But we're
I got
supposed to
an 8.
fail, right? So we get the +4.
Oh, 12 then.
I need to use a domain dice.
Quality use a domain die.
Hold on. Let's see, that's 8, 9, 10, 11.
Yeah, remember, you get +4 on your saves.
Why can't I find another friggin' D10? 12. Okay, and then I can roll those twice. So, what everybody get on their decks?
I got a 24.
I got a 12, so I'd like to re-roll. I'd like to use a domain die.
All right, I'm going to burn a domain die.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so that is 27.
Brilinya?
I got a 9.
Walu?
I use my Indomitable feature because a 12 is probably a fail to get a total of 20 instead.
Okay.
I also used a domain die. Also, sorry.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I did.
And still
Sorry.
got that?
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I just rolled 12, so that's 7, 13, 21, 30, 31, 36, 46, 47, 54, 57, 58, 59, 59, 69, 79, 89, 99, 105, 110, 120, 128 points of force damage blasts up out of this pit in exploding. Everybody takes Brilinya, you take the full 128 points of magical damage.
Do we still have those temp hit points, or are those gone?
Nope, you still have them. Temp hit points stay until they're burned, so those will get used first. The rest of you will take 64 points of force damage. And the explosion forces, as it blasts backwards. Vale, I need you to make a well, wait, you got a huge number, so it's your choice if you still held on to the talisman or you let it go. As you are hurled backwards, all of you, through the mist gate.
I'm not sure. You know what? I'll roll to see whether or not I.
Okay.
What would I roll for that? What do you think? Athletics?
It's probably either an athletics or a dexterity.
Okay, well, we'll go with athletics. I rolled a nat 20. I got a 29. So
Okay,
I don't know.
so you're holding the thing as you all are blown backwards into this area through the gate. Brilinya, I think a big chunk of that was absorbed by roughly, not quite half of that was absorbed by your temp hit points, right? So I need to check something.
Quick question though. Because I just want to double check something. I can't remember. Oh, never mind. Because I have an aura of resistance to damage from spells, but that's from spells.
It wasn't
not
a spell.
exactly. Yeah,
It was a magical explosion, basically. And you specifically, that's a big part of why I wanted you to tell me how you dropped it into the lava. I didn't want to take that away from you and force it on you. So you,
well, actually, yeah, that's okay. So I don't know if I would, like, if it happened so quickly.
Well, I mean, Brilinya, when I asked how she dropped the staff into, all of you, as you hurl through this gate, you're blasted backwards by the force. You sort of stumble backwards, sprawling into this space. And you find yourself suddenly in an underground chapel with black basalt pillars and a polished obsidian altar. You can see resting on the altar is a leather bag the size and shape of a human body, and which appears to have been sewn shut. Beyond the altar is a heavy black drape hanging from an archway. 1 second, I gotta see something. Yeah, that's right. So there's heavy black drape hanging from an archway. 8 emaciated, green-skinned creatures are shackled to the walls of the chapel, each one gazing towards you with a single baleful eye. The monsters begin to gibber and drool as they shake their manacles, eager to be free. This is where you are. And that is where we are going to pick up next week. You're not out of this yet. You may have destroyed the Soulmonger. You have destroyed the Atropol, and in an astonishing show of the force of Ubtao and the force of something called the Twitch audience, you have defeated a Serarak. But you still got to get out of the Tomb of the Nine Gods. So now, I can say this. We are definitively 1 or 2 sessions. That's not definitive. We are definitively vaguely done with this campaign. We are almost done. Depending on what happens next week, that could be our last session. Or it's our next to last, but it's one of those two things. So this was exciting. I'm actually really excited, Mike, that you were able to burn 10 domain dice and have that epic show of power against a Serarak. And then Brilinya chose to destroy his staff, so who knows if he ever does return, because he is a Serarak. He's going to be pissed. Not to mention you have 4 Lich's phylacteries on your person. Wow. Well, I tell you, I was so looking forward to this session. I'm glad we took the week off, but I'm also glad that we're able to play again, and we are so close to the end of this long journey. And I know only roughly half of the videos are up on YouTube right now, but they will be eventually. All of our games will be up on the YouTube channel. The Sphere of Annihilation, Cole Sparks is asking, and Monty DL has a question about the blast. They did save from the blast. They took half damage. Sphere of Annihilation was left in the other room, just floating there, and as it were many of the other phylacteries. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna thank, first of all, everybody in the audience. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. And of course, thank you to Cole Sparks for subscribing, continuing that gift subscription from last month. Thank you to Staffin TJ and Antonia Queen Scribe for their 1,000-bit cheers each to give you a total of 4 domain dice this session. We greatly appreciate that. I do want to remind everybody, I don't shill for subscriptions usually, and I'm not really shilling for them now, but I'm just reminded that it's a new month. Your subscriptions don't always automatically renew, and if you are if you have an Amazon Prime account, you get 1 free subscription every month. And even though it's free and doesn't cost you anything, Mini Terrain Domain still benefits from that. So something to think about. At the very least, if you're not already following us, go ahead and hit that follow button. But we appreciate you so much, and we're glad you're with us this evening. I think that if you look down below the stream here, there is a button with a link to the Mini Terrain Domain Discord. I'm going to hop over for just a little bit in a few minutes after this game. I'm going to hop over to the after show voice chat. If anybody wants to hang out there and talk about the game or whatever, I'll probably be in there for about 15 or 20 minutes. And just a reminder that we stream D&D on Sundays, Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, you can actually type !schedule to see the full schedule or watch the off-air screen. We've got some other new shows coming at you. But be sure to tune in next week. Yes, we do also on Fridays. Alan from Check for Traps runs his Curse of Strahd game. And we're going to have a new Beards and Brushes mini painting stream coming up every other Monday from Dwight and I, and on those opposite Mondays, in fact, starting in just 2 weeks from tomorrow, we will be returning with All That Glitters, the Dungeon of the Mad Mage, Waterdeep Dungeon of the Mad Mage, DM'd by Mr. Mike the Piper, and featuring myself and M, along with Dwight the Big Bearded Nerd, and our friend Cassie. So we're looking forward to that as well. Also, all of us except for Mike will be over on Dice on Ice on Tuesday for the next session of our Curse of Strahd game that MDMs. Yes, I just realized I said MDM. I said that. So I don't know if maybe that's the kind of game it is. So I just want to say before we go, a huge thank you, of course, to Mike, Kaeryn, M, and Connor, without whom it would just be me talking to myself for 3 hours. So with that, we're going to go ahead and end this stream the same way we end every stream. And you can say it with me if you want.